forward to making it through. How do you make it through those kinds of places? A lot of different things are happening. Wonderful alignments in the sky tonight. The ability for us to start to get into that. There's some wonderful things happening in the sky tonight. One of those things that is happening is a couple of planets are coming very close within each other in such a way that it's going to be called the Great Junction on December 21st, 2020. So your energy in place where you're utilizing it. And what is the Great Junction everyone's talking about? It's happening on December 21st. So let's talk about this Great Junction a little bit. There may be a couple of people who know a little bit more about this thing than I do. Supposedly this hasn't happened for a very long time. It's supposed to be a very beautiful scene where we're able to see things that are nearly close to each other. And it's just a reality that we live in a beautiful world, that the place that we actually live is very beautiful. There are a lot of people that are having a lot of challenges in their day, and we just want to bring some positivity into their direction and to start putting ourselves in a place where our level of focus has the ability where the energy, the aura that comes from within us starts to radiate outwards with a level of mentality. And so how many of you out there are looking forward to this tonight? How many are looking forward to this planet and space challenge that's coming, this place to search in the sky to see if you can see the great connection there? And each day that we connect with this world, we give ourselves that ability. And let's go ahead and start looking up about this a little bit. Let's start getting into that ability where, Jupiter and Saturn will overlap in the sky tonight, aligned just so tonight's sky is going to have a couple of planets that are going to be meeting. They're going to be close to each other. The vibration is going to be in place where the mentality is there, where the connection between planets. So there may be some very wonderful energies coming to the Earth in the next few days. We're starting to head towards the end of this year, the 2020. Are we getting into the mentality to where it is starting to happen? Are we starting to see the planets align? And that's a freaking awesome thing, that the planets are actually aligning. And it's going to be a reflection on the Earth. It's going to be a manifestation on the Earth of these planets together, the way in which things happen. And are you looking forward to the ability that even the universe was created by God? It's a wonderful thing that energy exists, and that there's energy inside of all of us. And it's that planets that are coming into alignment are bringing a wonderful vibration. They're going to be aligned in such a way that we can see God's great creation. Each part of the whole entire being is there for us to recognize the vibration in the universe. And I just think it's awesome that tonight the two planets are going to be in alignment in the sky. I think it's an amazing thing. I think that, when we see these types of things, that we have the mentality inside of ourselves to bypass our challenges. I look at this quote of what you just said here, and in my mind, the battle is only versus ourselves. And it's only inside of who we are to bypass the the challenges that we have, to see the planetary alignment and the manifestation in the universe, the place where Jupiter and Saturn are. You know, a lot of us are so stuck on one planet, Earth, that we forget that there are multiple planets in the galaxy. You know, a lot of us don't recognize that kind of energy. You know, sometimes we see the moon is high and a lot of things happen, and we don't quite understand how the energy can move on the earth. But then we study how the earth spins. And then through doing that, we start to see that the energy in the universe matters. You know, when does the energy inside of you matter too? When does the celebration of connection between you and the universe start to happen? It's so awesome to have these kinds of things happen. It's awesome to recognize that there are things greater than ourselves, that this universe was created in such a beautiful way. And it's in that place that we start to recognize it. It's in that place where we start to see the planets are beautiful. We have multiple energies within the universe. There's, you know, the energy in the air, there's the energy in the ground, there's the energy within you and I. And tonight's that great junction, the 21st of 2020, and these planets are showing us that this world is greater than just our own eyes. It's a being that's present can recognize that. It's the purpose to focus through one's challenges and to recognize it for yourself. And so it's called the Great Conjunction. That's what they have it labeled as. And how it's brought down by Wikipedia, per Wikipedia here. Per Wikipedia, it's a great conjunction is of planetary, it's Jupiter and Saturn. When the two planets appear close together in the sky, the great conjunction named great for being the rarest and one of the brightest and closest on average of the conjunctions between naked eye planets and the ice giant, as they were too dimmed to be discovered until after the invention of the telescope occurred approximately 20 years. When Jupiter overtakes Saturn in its orbit, the space between the planets varies from conjunction to conjunction, with most events being at 0.5 to 1.3 degrees. 30-78 Archimedes, or 1 to 2.5 times the width of the full moon. Very close conjunctions happen much less frequently, though. The maximum of a 1.3 is still close by interplanetary standards. Separation of less than 10 have only happened 4 times since the year 1200, most recently in 2020. Celestial mechanics. It is awesome what's happening. What's the vibration happening for you? Are you seeing the joy within the ancient geometry in the sky? The mathematics that happen around us, that work for us, that are there, that show us that the blessings are here, and that the things that we go through, the challenges that we have, are worth it. You know, this was before our time. This was before any of our time that something like tonight is going to happen. And we won't be seeing this again for a very long time. You know, your children's children might not see what's going to happen tonight. It's inside of ourselves that we have to focus to that point. It's inside of ourselves that we have to see God's creation for how beautiful it is. And each of us is going to have to focus past our challenges to see that kind of beauty, to see that kind of understanding. It's inside of ourselves that we face off against these challenges on a daily. It's the beautiful things that we see in the universe that remind us that the night sky is real, that it exists, that this universe is a beautiful thing. Each day that we live and that we give ourselves permission to go through our challenges, that we sit inside of our mentality, that we enjoy the universe. Those special things happen every day for you. Tonight is one of those very special planetary nights. It's a place where time meets. It's a place where enjoyment comes from within. It's a place where the understanding and the manifestation comes from within you. And so, are you seeing these challenges that you face off against? Are you seeing how magnitude inside of the universe is actually working? How the ability inside of yourself has its place where you are able to make it through your challenges. Look into the night sky and you will see the beauty. You will see things that show you that we really do exist. So awesome how this universe works. It's so awesome how the energy inside works. How, you know, a lot of people they give up before their time. You know, there's a lot of people who don't continue to focus past their challenges. They don't sit down inside and say, let's do this. You know, for instance, there's a star that hasn't been in the sky for 800 years. To see it is wonderful. Blessings, everybody. We're talking about the star that hasn't been in the sky for about 800 years. So, what kind of challenges are we looking at? Like, tonight is amazing. There's the Jupiter star. Jupiter and Saturn will be crossing each other. They will be crossing paths in such a way that the planets will be freaking awesome. You know, also there's a star that's in the sky that hasn't been seen for 800 years. So these are really awesome things. These are really awesome opportunities for us to see the challenges that we have and to recognize that we are blessed. And so, are you going through some times where you forget that things that you see are worth it? That your challenges you can overcome? And the mentality to see what you have inside is there for you. You know, if you are a believer in the Creator or not, this creation is so beautiful. This creation is such a wonderful place for us all to live. The manifestation, the being, the understanding in this universe is to see past our challenges, to see a place inside of ourselves where we go past those things that nobody else can do, that we focus and we see that the universe created by the Most High is such a blessing. And yes, well, the thing is that, like, there's things that have not been seen in 800 years. And inside of the mentality is where it is. It's inside of the ability to see the beautiful things that we see today. You know, like, it is not a coincidence that things that have not been seen for 800 years are sharing up in the sky. It is not a coincidence that the mentality is liberating itself, that people are waking up to the ability to be who they are. It's an amazing thing that Jupiter and Saturn are aligning themselves. It's freaking awesome. And I don't understand how some people out there are not seeing that for themselves. You know, this last year for me was a liberation. It was a freedom. It was a shaking off of the things that aren't meant to be there. It's a blessing to have had those kinds of challenges. You know, and I'm looking forward to going through all that I need to go through and to share that with you guys and to get to that place inside of our mind where we liberate ourselves. And freedom comes from within. You know, we take a look at, you know, the last time the planets aligned like this was 1200 BC or AC. So we're looking at a time when, you know, the very beginning of the Stone Age, the very beginning of the empire of Europe. We're looking at the time when there was very little. And, you know, we look at how they use the mentality to liberate themselves. And a lot of people don't see that for themselves. They don't see that the reason why expansion happened was because the people were able to read. They don't see the understanding because they ignore beautiful sights like tonight, like the Saturn, the Great Junction. And we all have those in our life. We all have those once in a lifetime opportunities, experiences. We all have challenges that show us that we are blessed, that what we are going through is worth it. And I'm telling you, when you see things like that, it shows you that your life has a purpose, that you were able to see planetary alignments. And inside of that kind of mentality is awesome. And it should be celebrated that you were able to see that kind of stuff. You know, energy is amazing. You know, when you use your energy properly, people notice it. When you use your energy in such a way that what you have inside starts to work. You know, like, it was before I had my logo that I was in the mindset. It was when I was sleeping in the car and there was nobody. Nobody. You know, I was doing 5-minute videos just trying to get it together. Just trying to figure out how to speak what was on the mind. That the manifestation came from motivation, meditation, and inspiration. It was the grind. It was the days when nothing was there, that I sat inside of the mentality to sit down and to start to figure it out. It was when nobody else, I felt like I was trucking a path by myself. I felt like, how can I help to get through the situations that I was going through so I could help to uplift other people? And I recognize that we all have challenges, that we all have things that we're trying to work through. It's so cool. So if you look at the moon in the sky, you'll actually see the Jupiter alignment. Jupiter and Saturn are so close to each other right now that it's just amazing. Probably going to do some meditation tonight. You know, possibly go outside and look up at the stars here in a bit. So we all have that kind of place inside where we have to ask ourselves that kind of a question. You know, what does it take for us to be who we are? And it's amazing that that we have that kind of stuff. You know, it's amazing that these alignments are happening, and you know, I recognize this time has come for us to allow that alignment to be there in our lives, where we're focused on seeing the beauty in the world beyond our positions, beyond our jobs, beyond what other people would call the place, to get that place of the great conjunction. Jupiter and Saturn aligning themselves to the point where the beings in the universe are becoming that. What a beautiful thing that is to have that kind of place. You know, I'm looking at some telescopes here that are showing the alignment of these two planets. And it's amazing how they're aligning. It's amazing how they're happening. And so the great conjunction is the two planets that are coming in such an alignment. How do you align your energy to that point where you become present inside of yourself? You know, I like conversation in here. I like to start seeing people getting into their mentality and getting into the ability to recognize that this is possible, that you know, you are truly experiencing things that have not happened in a long time. Blessings, brother. Here, let me see if I can hop you online, okay? I do energy readings, and I have been doing energy readings for a very long time. I started just by people inside the sauna. I would just go and meditate, and there would be people that would come in there, and I started to read their energy. So it's not just, I realized that people just read people's energy to a depth. They're not willing to read the actual energy inside. And I was like, why not? Why not read your energy? Why not read that person inside of you so you can understand it? Oh, it's so awesome how these planets are aligning. Check this out. It's so awesome how they're so close to each other at this time. It's just amazing that we are able to witness something that hasn't happened for a very long time. And it's amazing how these planets are coming so close to each other. They just give us a reminder of how great our God is. You know, when we see this planet, we see this universe, we see this connection with this universe to that level where, you know, we go beyond science. We go into the being itself, the actual presence of ourselves, the place that there isn't no need for explanation. Okay, a lot of times in life we're searching for an explanation. Well, when you see things like that that are amazing, that only happen once in 800 years, they remind you that it's greater than calculation, that it's greater than science itself, that there are things out there, there's universes that exist in such a way that we are a part of them. And to be present within yourself. You know, it's awesome to how those types of things can happen for us, you know. And it's a manifestation of the mentality to see things like that, the vibrations in the universe, to recognize that there are things that are greater than ourselves, that the universe can actually work for you. And it's just awesome to see that the planets can do such a thing, that it's, if you recognize this, this only happened 800 years ago. Okay? Our fathers, 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 fathers didn't see this. That is freaking awesome. Okay? So it's amazing the challenges we're going through today, the things that we are present in. We should see them as a positive force in the universe. We should see the challenges that we go through that they didn't have the ability to make it through. Because when you make it through your challenges, when you do that for yourself, you allow yourself to come out on the other side. See, a lot of people don't give themselves that ability to get to the other side of their challenges. It's at that place inside where you overcome your own challenges that you start to manifest your being. And it's awesome to have challenges, because without them, you wouldn't be who you are. You would not have gone through the places and the things that you've gone through. I think back to the times when I was sleeping in my van. Oh, I loved it so much, because it was such a simple place to just be yourself. A lot of people get lost in things that are not them. They get lost in places that are not them. They look for things that are not inside of them. Blessings. Yeah, motivation, meditation, inspiration. Facebook is Discipline 101. Discipline 101. You can actually search it up. You'll actually see it on Facebook as my group. I've been working to try to uplift people. Let me go ahead and share my story a little bit while we're enjoying this great conjunction here. It's so awesome. They got this on the YouTube of the planetary with the telescope. And it's like you can actually literally see the rings on Saturn. You can actually see the planet itself. It's so cool that that is actually happening, that we're in that place and in this time, and that we're able to enjoy this creation. And it's about it's about 7:35 here in Arizona. This telescope here that's getting this reply here is just showing an amazing view. I like to share that with you guys, let you actually see what's going on here. I want you to recognize that what's happening tonight hasn't happened for 800 years. That, just because you have challenges does not mean that you cannot enjoy the beauty in the universe. We each have that ability to see that for ourselves, to get to the place where we have what it takes inside, the level of focus, the level of mentality, the level of ability to be yourself. There has never been a you before. You are a blessing in this universe. You have had challenges that you can overcome. You have had things that have brought you to accepting your journey, that have brought you to the pages, and it's just a reminder. We enjoy to see things like this. Each of us see these kind of unique times that they're here for us. And And when they're inside of you, happening for you, enjoy them. Enjoy these amazing things that happen, that have happened very few times across the face of the planet. It's a very unique time to see these kinds of things. It's a very unique time to see these kinds of challenges, to focus to the point where you can see the positivity in them. And nights like tonight, where we see these challenges of viewing amazing things in the sky, remind us of the greatness in this universe. Often I talk about it's when you use the universe as your friend. Look at the beauty that the universe is putting in front of you. Look at the beauty of the person that you are inside. Look at the wonderfulness in the manifestation, that you can see beautiful things and that they truly do exist, that it doesn't have to be explained. A lot of people try to explain things. They try to express things. They don't let it be itself. They don't let it happen. They want to explain exactly how planets do it. They can never get the exact measurements, because sometimes things are more beautiful than what we would explain. Sometimes they are there for you. Sometimes they're working through you. And as I'm sitting here watching these planets align, as I'm sitting here watching the universe working in its beautiful ways, the hundreds of years that this hasn't happened, that this has had its alignment, the manifestation, the understanding, the blessings that has in store inside of itself. We are so lucky to be alive. We are lucky to be in the time in which we each are, in the presence inside of ourselves. Blessings, Tobias. The beings that we are, the manifestation in the universe. I'm looking at a telescope of the planets Jupiter and Saturn. The 21st, the alignment of the planets. Each of us has those kinds of challenges that, other people would say their way or this way or that way. What about the beauty just being enjoyed? What about the beauty just having an ability to be from within? What about the manifestation, the light, the reflection, to see the planets in alignment? What awesomeness is that? So where are you on your energy? Where are you on your path tonight in this beauty of the Jupiter and Saturn alignment of planets? Are you aligning with your energy on a daily? Are you giving yourself that place where you go beyond your challenges, where what you have inside becomes a radiating light? Each of us have that ability to enjoy that, to become relaxed inside, to have a manifestation around us. And many people will see that in their day. Blessings. I am doing energy readings, so they are open. We are enjoying the Jupiter or Saturn junction. So when we focus through our challenges, when we put ourselves in a place where we enjoy things like this, we give ourselves the ability to manifest our being, to focus through those challenges that we face off against, to be who we are inside. And so, are we at a place where awesomeness lives, where the ability to be who you are on the inside radiates light outwards? Yep. Yep. Yes, I do. So um, when we focus to that point where we're utilizing what we have, where our level of focus has a place inside, where our manifestation has a understanding, where we focus past the challenges. And so wow, we're all neighbors here. Isn't that cool, huh? Welcome to Periscope, everybody. Awesome. You guys looking at this night sky with this Jupiter conjunction? Check this out. They got a telescope going on with that. You guys should connect to the network. Motivation, meditation, inspiration. It is right there. So you can actually look it up so that we can actually look at what I do. I've been at this for nearly a decade. I've been meditating. Actually in Arizona, I got that name, Motivation, Meditation, Inspiration. Would you consider yourself woke? I would consider myself a human being. I would consider myself a human being. Being present inside of ourselves. After years and years and years of doing meditation, and years of putting it into the mentality where using meditation actually has its place, I've come to the realization that it's inside of us all. Okay? And it was when I was sitting inside the sauna and I was helping people out, when I was actually doing meditation every single day. And I do meditation, I teach meditation, my whole being vibrates from meditation. And so there was a period of time when I was meditating inside a sauna and sleeping in my van, and I was breaking through barriers that other people would call impossible. I stayed in a sauna 5 hours straight one day. Okay? I could sit in lotus for hours on end. It's inside of your mind to overcome your challenges. And so it's kind of funny that a lot, like the actual people that live around me, actually neighbors, can actually now know that there are people out there that are awesome, that are actually their neighbors. And so that's when I started to want to help people out. Now, when I came out here, I came across a girl with stage 4 metastasized cancer. Some people might know her. Her name was Veronica Rosa. And I started to help Veronica, and she was the manager at the local in Prescott. And so for those of you that actually know that place, you might have known her. And so I started helping her to free herself, and she ultimately passed her life here. And that was a wonderful lesson that I learned to help other people out. And so I've been working on being able to do energy readings. I was able to go in the sauna and I would be able to speak with people exactly where they were. And I could read the energy inside of themselves. And so I tried to do it online, and I started doing it. And then I did 7 energy readings within an hour. And so people started coming and asking me to do energy readings. And so I realized that a lot of people call them aura readings. But a depth of understanding comes from meditation. The explanation of how that energy works inside of yourself. You know, people say, oh, you're a green energy, or you're a purple or a blue energy. They don't explain how the strengths and the weaknesses inside of yourself are. And so, in focusing on positivity, you start to overcome your challenges. You start to find that person that you are inside, and that reflection starts to radiate outwards from within who you are. And so you can manifest things in your direction if you put yourself in that kind of mentality. If you give yourself that place inside of you to focus. It's when you focus to the point where nobody else goes that your energy starts to flow. So nothing ever changes. It only turns positive within you. So all the emotion, so this is the question that I was asked. Why don't you come online? Here, let's see if we can get you on here so you get other people. Because I'm on multiple networks right now. I have YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, and Instagram on. So if you like, I can actually answer those questions for you. And I'll go ahead and start explaining to you this. So we are books. Every single person has pages, chapters, and Einstein stated that mass and energy are interchangeable. So this being the case means that you are not changing, okay? You have the knowledge inside of yourself. It is the accessing of that knowledge that's happening. It is the accessing of being yourself that's happening. So I've had that more than one time, but let me go ahead and explain first the question that I've been asked. And this actually is an amazing thing once it's realized. So the thing that happens is you start to learn how no longer to have fear, to let pain become your teacher, to let your knowledge inside free you. Because a lot of us are not free inside, okay? We allow the fear to stop us. We allow the world around us to take our time away from enjoying things like tonight, like the great junction between Jupiter and Saturn, okay? And it's with the understanding that you have been on the face of the planet, that you have had, the things that you have gone through. And it's gaining that knowledge that frees us. And the question is nearly, how do you get to understand the knowledge that already lives inside of you? And the answer lays inside of reading a book. When you pick up a book, when you sit down with a book, what happens is you start to put your mind into a place where you get into that story. And when you sit down, you become a friend with yourself inside of that book. Now, it's the same way with reading the energy inside of yourself. You start to become a friend with this book. And so when you use that kind of energy, nothing is truly changing. What is happening is you're starting to understand yourself. And meditation is self-study. It's the simplicity to be yourself. And so a lot of people are looking at that and they say, but you're being selfish. And it isn't to be selfish. It's not taking anything from anybody for you to study you. It's not taking anything from anybody for you to be yourself. And so that is why meditation does not change you. It brings you closer to you. It allows the universe around you to change in such a way if your mentality is focused into positivity. If you let positivity become your foundation, then what happens is the things that are not meant for you, they move out of the way on their own. And so through doing that, so this is really good question, okay? So the view that I have, I'm going to explain. So the question that I was asked is, I liked to say what I would like what you say. Can you explain the role and purpose of Jesus Christ? Okay. Now, I am a Christian meditator, okay? But I'm not your regular meditator. I'm going to tell you what I believe, okay? Because you were asking me. I'm being asked this question, all right? Jesus healed people. Jesus recognized the creator of this universe. Jesus followed the creators of this universe path. Jesus resurrected and sits at the right hand of the creator. Okay. Now, how do I view this? This is the question that I've been asked. Okay. You ready? Okay. How many of you have spent more than an hour inside of a sauna? How many of you have sat in a place where Meshach and Abednego were, in heat beyond heat, 160, 190 degrees, or even a freeze? You know, I went in a cryo chamber, and I was inside the cryo chamber, and I started to do meditation. And I woke up to the lady telling me 10 minutes later that nobody can do that. And I wasn't even starting. I wasn't even getting into the breaking down of the energy fields inside of the body. And they were freaking out after 10 minutes at negative degrees. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at how a meditator looks at Jesus Christ. Okay? Adam and Eve came here and they had their curse. Okay. So the universe, the same thing that's showing us these stars, these planets, these alignments, these Jupiters and Saturns, is great. It's massive. The energy, the universe itself was created by the Most High God. And so Jesus Christ went into the desert. He did meditation. He fasted. Meditation is in the Bible more than 23 times. It talks about inside of the breath, the connection, the mastery. Now, how many of you meditate as well? How many of you get to the place where meditation inside of yourself starts to become a part of your being? How many get to the place where you start to face off against your challenges in your mentality, in meditation? So meditation is to be with the breath. Einstein's mass and energy, us, this creation being created in the Creator's image, we should understand the universe was created by the Most High God. So when Adam and Eve made that curse, well, Creator put that curse here, there had to be some kind of equalizer for that. You know, at a certain point, the gates closed to that ability. Now, that meditator who came to the face of this planet, that being, not only were we breathed to life, okay, we are created in God's image as well. It's stated, we are created in God's image. Not only were we, but also he was. So, to a meditator, reaching Alpha and Omega is not possible. Okay? That's given to the creator of this universe. However, alpha beta status, being the beta as in the estrogen maximum understanding, and the testosterone maximum understanding, we recognize that there is a level of consciousness, and it's talked about biblically as Christ-like consciousness. So, Jesus fasted and prayed. So that means that he had the ability to follow that connection, to be one with the Creator. So there has to be a clue to how the point where he reached that place would be. And that answer came when he stated that I sit at the right hand of God. Okay? He became exalted after he resurrected to sit at the right hand of God. Now, there's a scripture in Genesis that talks about light workers across the face of the planet. That scripture is, in the beginning there was light, and God saw that light was good. Okay, before he decided to make that light was good, before he said the word saw light was good, notice that there was a section that said saw light. And then he decided. So at a level of meditation, we look at Jesus Christ as that man who came here, meditated, hit a stage where he started to do healings, started to utilize this universe, utilize the purpose, to become one with the Creator of this universe, to get to the point where he had the place to be able to elevate the mind to the point where he was exalted to sit at the right hand of God. So to me, the purpose of Jesus Christ was that he saved mankind, that he recognized the Creator of the universe, that he followed the Creator's will for him. And that does not take you from your own path. It does not take you from your own purpose. It does not take you from your own relationship with the Most High, which is written as glory, glory to the Most High in the heavens. So as a meditator, we recognize that knowledge is within and around us. We recognize that the blessings are here. And I want you to never forget what I'm saying here. That before God saw light was good, he saw the light. And that meant light workers were on the face of the energy within the universe. So we're just asking a question in the universe at that point is, are you reaching that Christ-like consciousness inside of yourself? And so that's where the biblical starts to get to the place where positive forces start working in the universe. And that's the question that I was asked was, let me go ahead and go back up here. I'd like to see what you're saying, and can you explain the role of the purpose of Jesus Christ? His purpose was to save mankind, to sit at the right hand of God, and to elevate to a being's level where other people can see it as an example. And that is a positive thing in this universe. That is a positive focus in this universe. It goes alongside with science created by the Most High, which is, for each action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. That same place is before God saw light was good. So, remember, Genesis shows the answer to the time and mentality that's answered later about baby Christians. Because when one recognizes that love is a reflection of knowledge, that all love has to be learned. So, to me, Jesus was the greatest meditator that ever lived. His relationship with this universe was amazing. His role was to save us from a curse that was brought by Adam and Eve, and to give us an example of how to get back to that Creator, that source, that universe that created us in His image. And so that is what Jesus' purpose is inside. And I want to elevate to that place where we sit at the right hand of God with Jesus Christ, where we sit at that table with the one. And I started to see a lot of people put it on that and not themselves to get to that place themselves. They want that Christ-like consciousness, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to sit down and write things down. They don't want to put themselves in a place of positivity to achieve it. And so a lot of people see that. They won't admit it for themselves. When they see people who are truly positive, they follow that kind of direction. This is where we start to head in to the ability to understand that God divided the lightness from the dark. Genesis was created in such a way that it would define the light workers within the universe. That book is so awesome. That book explains that question. A lot of people like to hide behind good and bad. That's not the way the universe views it, though. The way the universe views it is the same way that the Creator viewed it. He saw that light was good. Okay. Before that, let me remind you, when he saw it, then he had to make a decision that it was good. That means that it took a mentality of knowledge. That means the knowledge existed before that choice, which means that there were light workers and there were people that were of dark. And so that is the place in which I elevate my mentality to. And that is the place that Newton realized that there was for each action an equal and opposite. And so the choice to see it that way is the ability for you to be stuck on that page. That's why they call them baby Christians. Because the minute that you see that God's knowledge, his knowledge, I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the Omega of this universe. When you realize his knowledge is throughout the whole universe, you see that light. But we ignored that the light, he saw it before he even said that it was good. And so Genesis, throughout the whole entire Genesis, gives us answers of these things. Here we go into example. Perfectly down to the roll. Ready? Okay. In the beginning there was God, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Okay. Another language. Ancient Indian text. They found the city of Babel in India. So, first part of a word is a prior time. Second part of a word is a later date. Okay. In the beginning there was God, and the Word was with God. That time was that place. Jesus Christ resurrected, sit at the right hand of God, follows God's will, meditates, does everything to be close to the one, even states that he's close to the one, exalted to sit at the right hand of God. So that is a later date. So they take that was at a later date and they put it in a place where they say that it has to be one, when the whole entire sentence up to that point shows that there was one following the Creator, the Word. Master the understanding of that to the point where you become that kind of light in the universe, and then the liberation frees itself. See? We sometimes get stuck on the was. That was the past. That was going to happen. That was going to be it. When do we allow the understanding to get to that place? When do we allow the reflection to manifest? When do we allow the being inside to enjoy the things in the universe that are here already? And so, where are we on that page to where we're achieving it? And it's with our own level of focus that we could see past those kinds of challenges. And that is what we can do too. We can elevate the mind and the mentality. We can elevate the being from within ourselves. We can allow that kind of a place to allow that kind of biblical example to have its purpose in your life. You know, it's so interesting that across the face of the planet, there are even Christian monks. You know, there are people that are Catholic that are teaching of elevating the mind. There are people who have achieved that place where they're near with their breath, with their being, and enjoying the simplicity of it, enjoying the simplicity inside it, enjoying the simplicity of who we already are. You know, each of us is going to go through challenges. Each of us is going to go through things that nobody else can. And each of us is going to get to that place inside of who we are, you know, if it's today or the day you meet your Maker. What a blessing it is for us to have that inside of ourselves. And it ain't even about selfishness, it's about you on your path, on your journey. Are we focusing to that place where what we have going on inside no longer can stop us, no longer can hold us back, no longer can hold you from the beauty to see the simplicity in the universe? And it's so awesome. This world is so small. The people that are around us, sometimes they live down the street, you know. Sometimes they are just waiting to ask you, how is it possible for you to do it? How is it possible for you to sit down inside of yourself and to focus? How is it possible for your challenges to become overcome? And it's ultimately inside of you to find it. It's inside of you to manifest it. It's inside of you to become that kind of reflection. What a blessing it is for us to have challenges. What a blessing it is for us to see the things in the universe that only happen once every 800 years. And, you know, each of us will go through things that nobody else can for us, that what we have going on inside is great. We all are here on the same planet. We all are going through similar challenges. We're looking to find that person inside to become such a light that it shares with other people, where it becomes something beyond what other people would think. And it's inside of you that it lays, you know. It's so great. Even the neighbors have seen me. You know, even the people that you know, focus to that point where we each have our own beautiful world. We each have our own challenges. We have our own mentalities to go beyond that level. You know, we go through things that bring us closer to ourselves, that help us to overcome the challenges that nobody else can for us. We sit in front of places inside where we focus past the challenge. And it takes only one's mentality to liberate the mind. It takes one's ability to go to the point where we have what it takes. You know, we're so focused on the simple little things that we forget about the beauty in the universe. We forget about the beauty in who we are inside. We forget about the challenges that we can work through, the places that we can go, and the things that we can do that are amazing in this universe. You know, I never want to forget the simplicity of one's breath. I never want to forget the mentality that comes from within. I never want to forget the ability to be inside, to be present in one's being, to be who we are. You know, our paths are worth it. Our purposes are worth it. Our manifestation, our energy is worth it. And we have that place to dominate our walk in the universe, to be who we are on the inside, to sit down at a level where other people can see you for yourself. They can see you inside of you. And so it's so awesome that we can have challenges, that we can have things to work through, that, you know, we can connect with the universe at such a level. You know, you might be near the ocean, you might be in the mountains, you might be in the valleys, and it's inside of you that you will start to see yourself. You will start to see your focus. You know, what is it that you're focused on? You know, what is it that you work through? What is it that you're looking to manifest in your day? You know, I'm going to go ahead and take a break here. I'm going to go ahead and get my next shake going on. I'm going to put this down for just a minute, and then I should be back. We'll continue enjoying the Saturn view. So awesome. You know, reminders that neighbors are close here. We're all together on the face of the planet. I just want to say blessings to you all. And if you don't reach into that next one, connect with the network, motivation, meditation, inspiration, yoga.